All right, class, welcome to your tutors. If you're just joining this session and just coming by this YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, like at the end of the lecture. So, all right, class, today we are diving into the core of what defines a successful advertising campaign, and that is advertising strategy. Advertising strategy. Think of this as the master plan that determines how a company communicates the value of its product or service to a specific audience through paid, non-personal means. And according to Kotler and Armstrong in 2009, defined advertising as any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, goods, or services by an identified or identifiable sponsor. And this is key. One, it is paid, it is public, and it is always attributed to a known entity. So if your favorite cereal brand, such as your cornflakes, such as your Golden Morn, drops a jingle on radio or a pop-up on Instagram, that is advertising in action. That is advertisement in action. And there is a strategy behind it. Now, the structure of an advertising strategy begins with certain clear objectives. And this is not guesswork. Objectives are precise communication task that is directed at a target audience over a specific time. And these tasks often take one of three forms. And speaking of one of three forms, we're looking at it from the angle of the fact that the tasks are always informative, they're persuasive, or a reminder advertising. So informative advertising is common when launching a new product or feature. Picture GoTV, for instance, explaining how to set up a decoder for first-time users. The aim here is to build primary demand, getting people aware and interested. Then comes persuasive, and that makes it informative, trying to tell people how to make use of the product. Then comes persuasive advertising, which takes it further by urging the consumer to make a choice. It is the kind of campaign that screams, choose us, we are the best. And that's just what the advert will be talking about when it comes to the persuasive advertising, which is often used in competitive markets. Finally, which is the reminder advertising, it keeps established brands at the top of the consumer's mind, like seeing a KFC, your Chicken Republic, your Item 7 advertisement, reminding you that they have opened a new branch at the Junction Mall, or they have opened a new branch in Lagos. That is what reminder advertising. So once objectives are clear, the company then needs to set its advertising budget. So how much are we spending to get this message out? There are different approaches. One strategy is to spend as much as possible, often used by startups seeking fast traction. They spend as much as possible. They don't hold back anything in terms of spending. Another method is allocating a fixed percentage of sales. Say, for instance, 5% of last year's revenue will be used for advertisement this year. And this is simple, but not always responsive to market changes. And the third option is benchmarking competitors' spend. So if they are spending this much, we'll also match it. So if Summit University is spending this much for advertisement, another university coming up could also try as much as possible to match it, so as to also be able to have a share from the existing market. And the most logical complex method is the objective and task approach. Again, the objective and task approach, where companies define their goals and calculate the cost of the steps required to achieve them. So it is strategic, but can be expansive and sometimes risky. So then we come to creating the advertising message. And this is where creativity meets clarity. And according to Kotler and Armstrong, two key elements that drive this phase is message strategy and message execution. Again, message strategy and message execution. So the strategy here involves identifying the customer benefits that will form the core appeal. Is the product meaningful? These are some of the questions we should ask ourselves. Is the product believable? Is it distinctive? If not, then your message is weak. So once that is clear, execution takes over. And how does execution takes over? It takes over the tone, it takes over the style, it takes over the language and the visuals that bring the message to life. And remember, how you say something can be just as important as what you want to say. It matters a lot. How you say something can be just as important as what you say matters a lot at this point, because we're dealing with what? The message strategy and the message execution. You need to be able to drive home the point clear enough for the audience to be able to grab at once and understand the detailed meaning behind it. So after crafting the message, we must decide where to place it. And this is the realm of advertising media selection. Advertising media selection. So the advertiser must weigh 3 critical metrics. And this number 1 here is reach. And speaking of reach, this is where we tell ourselves how many people see the advertisements. And next one we're looking at is frequency. How often do they see it? And last is media impact. How persuasive is the medium being used? So major media types such as your TV, radio, print, outdoor, direct mail, each have advantages and constraints. So choosing wisely is essential. So within those, you must also select specific media vehicles, like picking the right newspaper, the right radio show, the right television program based on audience demographics and cost efficiency. So often calculated through cost per thousand impressions, which we often refer to as CPM. It is also being emulated in the world of social media or digital media advertisement or new media advertisement today. And timing also matters. Some advertisements run on a continuity schedule, even distributed over time, while others follow a pulsing pattern, strategic burst of advertisement when consumers are most receptive, meaning they think before they advertise. And in the course of them doing this, they are able to reach their target audience real quick at the expected time to reach their target audience. So the final step is this in this strategic chain is evaluating effectiveness. Did the advertisement do its job? That is one thing we should try. So if you are saying you're advertising a particular brand on WhatsApp, you're advertising a particular brand on TikTok or Instagram, is it delivering what you expecting it to deliver? Then what is the turnout in terms of customers' request or customers' awareness of the product? So advertisers look at communication effects. Did it improve awareness? Did it, in terms of attitude, or does it improve recall? That is, people calling for the product and demanding for it. And more challengingly here as well is that they assess sales and profit effect. And that's one thing advertisement also does. Did revenue increase after the advertising campaign? So experiment and comparison helps here, although causality can be difficult to pin down. So in summary, advertising strategy is not random creativity. It is a structured, goal-oriented process that aligns business objectives with consumer psychology and media logic. And it bridges the gap between product and people by creating persuasive narratives that are targeted, that are timed, and also tested. So let's have a quick assignment for this session as well. Choose a company that recently launched a product or service in Nigeria, e.g. your MTN, Glo, Detol, Airtel, Dano, GoTV, DSTV, Peak Milk, etc. Analyze their advertising strategy by addressing the following. 1. What type of advertising objective did they use? Is it informative, persuasive, or reminder? 2. Describe their likely budget method. 3. Evaluate the message strategy and execution. 4. Identify the media types and vehicle used. And 5. Assess the effectiveness based on what you observe. Did the advertisement resonate with the audience and justify your answer? So you can submit your analysis in not more than 2 pages, and have it submitted to yusufsholola8@gmail.com. Thank you very much for your time. If you're just joining this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you.